All right. So basically, we're on page 15 of like 23, I think. Let me check. Let's see what the final page is. Actually, let me grab it. So this is page 15. And then the last page, oops. The last page is page 23. Okay, so we're like, what is that? 7 or 8? 8 pages left. So this is what we got so far. Let me see. I was working on this one the other day, but I just got so tired of like seeing the same images over and over again. It's kind of part of the issue too. It's like when you're working on these little pages, you see the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Um, so let me see. Where's page 1? Where is page 1? No. Did I lose page 1? Where's page 1 at? Oh, there's page 1. Okay. All right, so this is what we got so far. Here's page 1. So I do kind of worry. When I started doing the comic, I kind of was less committed to like opaque paint. So some of these are kind of loose at the beginning. So we got this one, that's page 1. I like page 1. I think I'm definitely probably, oh my goodness, I'm probably going to end up going back over some of these like brighter spots, like the yellow will probably get changed over. But I think for the most part it looks okay. Page 2, same thing. The only thing I really didn't like on this page was this dress. I just didn't know how to light it from the back. So there's that. Page 3 is fine. 4 is fine. Yeah, 4 is fine. 5 is fine. I thought about going back and making the face more opaque, but I think it'll be fine. 6 I really like. Hey, trucker. Yeah, 6 I really like, especially compared to. Let me grab what the last one looked like. I'm gonna show you guys what the original page 6 looked like. Where is it at? This was the original page 6. I think it looks so much worse. So I think we definitely made an improvement. Like, let's see. So this is the original. This is the first page. Well, it's page 4, technically, but it's the same. It's the same page. I think I was trying to go with these like black outlines, and everything just looks more confused, I think. I also just had worse references. So this is the original, and then this is what I think that this new one looks way better. All right, trucker, that sounds like a good plan. Yeah, I think this one looks way better. And that's really what I've been trying to do. I know I'm not gonna get this perfect um as many times. Hi Maria. Goodness. I know I'm not gonna get these perfect, but I'm just happy to see that some of them are better than their counterparts. Like, let's see, this one. Let's find the original to that one. Where's my original painting of that one? But yeah, it honestly took me a little bit of time to feel convinced that I was gonna like restart all this. Let me see, where is that one? I know I have one, where is it? I might have cut it up, honestly. I don't see it. This one's similar. Like, let me grab. That one's similar, but that's not the same page. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is the original. So here's the first version of this page. I thought it was fine when I first did it. I really didn't like. Oh snap! What's up, Creative Ambitions? Finally, someone we recognize. We recognize. Yeah, this one I really didn't. I didn't mind it. I thought I did an okay job the first time around, but I didn't. The only thing I didn't like, is I didn't like how I did her. I felt like the intention was good, but I just didn't like. It was a little. It felt a little distasteful. I guess I don't know. It didn't feel quite right. Having that be the, I don't know. It didn't feel right. So we changed it to this. I think it looks. She looks more. I think it works out better for the story wise. Even if she's going to be less detailed and not have these black outlines and stuff, and be in a bikini, I thought it makes more sense look like that. So that's that one. Where's this page? Here's this one. Okay, so this is the original. What's up, Carolina Greenery? This was the original. Again, like I just kept doing this whole black outline thing that I'm really glad I didn't do. And also this hand is crazy. So this is the, so that's the original. And then that's what the second one looks like. I think it looks way better in this one. I'll probably have to go back because one of the things I was fearing when I was making this one, the original, is I was scared that I was going to have to really do a lot of work post process, I guess, like in Canva or whatever I was editing in. And so I tried to add all these black lines so I wouldn't have to do that. But I think that was kind of futile. Like, I just need to understand we're going to have to do like some. Ultimately, we're going to have to do some modifications in post. Just kind of the nature of it. And then this page, let's see. I kind of want to just take us to where we're at now. That's what I want to do. And then we'll start working on the comic again. So this was the original. I like this one. Again, the same thing with her. I felt like that needed to be changed. I also just didn't like how this guy's side profile looked. It doesn't look very competent. It just looks kind of like, I don't know, flat. So I think we did better on that one. But I feel like a lot of what I'm doing here is more like suggestive, not suggestive in like the traditional way, but like I'm trying to not be so literal with everything and just trying to suggest features and figures and stuff like that. We don't have to be so literal. This is a page that's most likely going to be redone. I'll probably end up redoing this. This one I don't like still, even in the remake. This one's much better, I think. Let's see this one. Here it is. This was the original. I think it looks okay. But I think this one looks much better. It's kind of hard to see under this lighting, but yeah, I think this one looks way better. Just let's just do one more. I don't want to. We don't have to go through this whole thing. This page looks way better too, I think. The original ending. The original ending to the story, I feel like I tried to do too much in the original ending. Because I was trying to wrap up two different people's stories in like one page. And I feel like the new one looks much better. Let me show you the old one. Where's the old one? Here's the old one. This was the old one. So we were supposed to get like one ending is here, the other ending is here. But I just felt like it didn't look right. So we're going to finish it off with one person's ending and not focus on the other guy. It just makes it, for me, it makes more sense. But all right. I'm going to start working on this one. which is where we're at in the game. I also got a bunch of, or at least a couple. I got a couple new brushes. Let's see. Sorry, I had to make sure I was doing something right. So I got these. These are Royal and Langnickel. But it's been so long since I've gotten new brushes. I've been riding so long with just these. And I really like these, but I was having trouble getting the tips. Because I'm so abusive with my brushes, I'll leave them upside down. And so they all get like bent like this. They all get bent like that. And it makes it hard to get a thin edge. So I got those ones. So these are relatively thin in their own right. And then I got this brush, which is crazy. Look at that. I mean, goodness. Let me know if the music is too loud as well. But I saw this artist. He's an artist I've followed for a little bit now. I don't know how long. But you guys should check him out if you like plein air. His name is CPV Art. His name is CPV. Maybe you guys have seen him. But I saw him do something with a rigger brush. Like these are these really long. Let me see if I can show you. These like really long, thin brushes. Those are actually, yeah, I love them. I like, even when I was first starting out, I was using Royal and Langnickel. A lot of word. Yeah, Royal and Langnickel. Goodness. Yeah, I was using those when I first started painting. But this one's crazy. Like, the only thing, well, there's two things. For one, it's really not good at mixing, which you should expect probably because it's so small. But also, sometimes it can be sneaky and it can hold a little more water than you're expecting, and then you get like a big blob. Like, let's see, like this. You'll think it'll give you a thin line again, but then sometimes you get like it'll hold too much water sometimes. But this one's this looks so expensive. It really wasn't. This looks so nice. I think this was like $3. I don't know. What's the brand? Master's Touch. Yeah, it's a 30/0. Yeah, this one is so thin, but you really can't mix with it, which I guess is fair enough. I can't ask it to do everything, so. Also, Creative Ambitions, I did see your comments. I just, sometimes I struggle to get a response out in a reasonable time. I don't know if you feel the same way, but sometimes I don't want to sound like an idiot. So it takes me a little bit to respond. All right, so again, this is, let's see. This was the old one. This was the old page. And I really liked this one. Okay, good. I really liked this style. But I also thought, like, worst comes to worst, I'm going to redo the whole page. And if I end up liking this style better, where it's just a wash and then like line, we can use it, right? But if I like this style better, if I end up liking this one better, then we'll use that one. So I figure there's no, I mean, there's really no losing, so I'm gonna redo it anyways. But I think it's interesting. I do like this one because I don't really paint like this often. All right, I gotta remember this guy has red gloves and the other guy has blue gloves. Also, if you're still here, Creative Ambition, I liked those sketches you did with the references. think it was cool to see your art style in more like I don't even know if this is like something I made up in my head, but I feel like when you use references, especially for yours, I feel like I was able to tell like a little more of their ethnicities, like the specificness of their ethnicities a little better. Not I don't maybe that didn't sound like a compliment, but I think it was. I thought they like the nuances of their face were really nice. I feel like I have a trouble doing ethnicities. I feel like I have some trouble. Sometimes I'll use a reference and they won't look like the race that they are. They'll just be like a generic person. But I feel like you did a good job. Blue, what's up, Blue? We should probably draw his body in first. Guys, I have such a headache right now. I'm hoping that this lo-fi music helps me, but I'm having such a headache. I think it's because I eat really poorly sometimes in the night, or like I won't eat all day, and then I'll get a headache, and I'll expect a bottle of water and a meal to really quickly fix it, but it doesn't. Yeah, I'm not even saying that that's bad. I'm not even saying that that's bad. I just think that it was really, um, I was really able to see that like, they're specific, like, and even if they are the same race, there's different. You know what I mean? Like, there's different, like, um, let me be careful. Let me be careful of what I'm about to say. Um, just kidding. Even if they are the same, you know what I mean? Even if they're the same race, within races, there's like different like facial archetypes. You know what I'm saying? They want to mess around and say something weird. But I think I do the same thing. I think when I paint with reference, I'm really or without reference. Sometimes I can get really bad, and like everyone looks the exact same. Like literally, like I do like this like strong man type face. Um, Honestly, same. Male faces are so boring. See, that's not true. I like drawing male faces, but only when they're like really well lit. It's really for me. It's kind of boring to draw male faces if they're just straight on and if they're like lit evenly. It just kind of takes like there's no fun in that for me. Like I can draw. Let me grab a. I think I still have it. Let me grab some paintings I did the other day. I feel like everyone prefers to draw women. I feel like it's just like the more interesting gender, or I guess the more interesting sex, I suppose. Um, Grab them. Where are they at? The other day I was at my dad's house instead of where I'm normally at, and I did some drawings. Let me see. I still have them. Where did they go? I might have lost them. Where are they been? Oh, here they are. Yeah, I did these drawings, and I made little shorts for them and everything. Like this face, if this was a guy, I would never do it. Like, there's no way I would do a guy's face just purely straight on. Actually, that's not. I mean, this one's kind of like that, but not really. He has a beard and he has cool wrinkles and stuff. But I feel like if this was just a normal dude, a young, like a 27-year-old guy, straight on, well lit, I just wouldn't do it. Like there's no interest in that for me. Um, oh really? Okay. You know what? I could totally see that. I could totally see you doing hair and makeup. It kind of is. Sometimes I think about that, like when I'm painting faces, sometimes it does feel like I'm doing someone's makeup and it's like it's a little interesting. Let's see some. I'm gonna show you guys some old drawings of mine. Um, Also, one time I got to do. This is a really old one. When is this from? I don't know. I think this was like 2022, maybe. Um, One time I got to do. I got to do some face paint for kids at a church event, and it was actually so fun. It was really fun. Like that is such a good outlet for art. I feel like that was just so like, especially because some of them were so like. I remember um I was painting this one kid's face, and it was like this little kid that kind of looked like a little mini version of like Spider-Man. You know the Miles Morales Spider-Man. He kind of already looked like him, and the kid was hype. He was so hype. He wanted to get like Spider-Man painted on his face, and I did such a not a good job on him, but he was so hyped anyways, and that was so funny. I love that. Like I didn't even do a good job because I was kind of rushed, but he was still so hyped. Thanks, thanks, Creative Ambition. This I still kind of feel bad. This was from. This is a book that I haven't finished yet, but I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. We actually went through. This is from an old stream. I went through this whole. Oh, here it is. Okay. Well, let me show you guys something first. It is so fun. And then there was one time where like wanted the little boy wanted like a I think it was like a rainbow unicorn something on his face, and I think his mom was trying to get him to get something else, but I think he ended up letting him get the rainbow unicorn, and it was so funny. All right, so this is all right. So we went through. Let's see, we went through all these different thumbnails. Let me grab my. Let's see, where's the first? Okay, so we went through all these different ones. Here's the first one. And then we went to that one. This is all for a book called The King of Eagle Island. That's like the working title. Then we went to that one. And then somehow we got to here. And then here. And these little ones. I like this one. This one, I feel like this one could have been the book cover. But I think we ended up with see, it's not really close to any of these. The the finished one is closest to this. So this ended up becoming this, which I really like the portrait. I don't so much like the figure on the side. So I don't know. I think either I can edit it and just like kind of cut him out and make him bigger and fix some stuff, or we can just redo it entirely. But I do like the face. I like the portrait a lot. And this was such a fast portrait too. You guys know when there's like sometimes when you work on a portrait and it just like there's no ugly stage at all. That's like the best. That's definitely what that one was. It was like there was no ugly stage. Here's some more. These are like more preliminaries. And then this one, this big one. Yeah, I think it looks much better in blue. All right, let's put those away. Yeah, I really hope that I get to finish that book because I would hate for it to become a project lost to time, which I have quite a few of. Okay, let's get back to work. Yeah, I have quite a few projects that have been lost just in like the process of getting tired of working on it. Really? What's your favorite? You know what? Like that's I really feel like sometimes like I by just doing like the plein air stuff or just doing other stuff, I kind of miss out on like what I actually like what kind of like invigorated my wanting to make art, which was like book covers and comic books and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get more like back to doing. Yeah, I don't know if you ever feel like that, but sometimes it feels like I kind of forget about like the actual goal of my art making, which is like I always wanted to do book covers and like illustrations and stuff like that. Like like golden, I think it's called Golden Age of illustration, of American illustration, like the J.C. Leyendecker type stuff. The who else? I guess not really Norman Rockwell, but he's in that era. But yeah, so I'm trying to really trying to get back to it because there was a period of time where I was more focused on that kind of stuff and learning how to do it. All right, we got to figure something out. I guess we can do this. But yeah, I never want to lose track of like the why, I guess. Because I could do as many little plein air sketches as I want, but the goal isn't really to be a pocket sketcher, I guess. Dude, if you're talking about the golden age stuff, I could talk about that all day. Oh my goodness, dude. Like that's my jam. That is my jam. I love that stuff. Like that's what I'm most attracted to in art, I guess, is that kind of style. Like I'm more attracted to that even above like fine art. Well, it might be close, maybe. But I would definitely rather see that kind of stuff than the like Vincent Van Gogh Starry Night. I'd rather see the American illustration type stuff, like the Robert McGinnis type stuff. You know, oh my goodness, I just smudged all that. Prior to Robert McGinnis dying, and Robert McGinnis was like a, if you don't know, Robert McGinnis, I think he was like I want to say 70s illustrator. I think he was born in like the 20s, I think, because he was like 90 something when he died. Um, but he did like really crazy like femme fatale, I guess is the genre, um, paintings. And prior to him dying, I I um I was really searching for this documentary. There's a documentary of Robert McGinnis, and it goes through like the totality of his art process, which is just so crazy. You know what, let me show you. I want to show you guys a Robert McGinnis drawing before I babble on about it. But what I was saying is prior to him dying, I reached out to his like his website, which ended up being his son. His son was running it, and I was trying to get him to tell me where the documentary was at, and he ended up saying that like it just doesn't exist because they didn't like the music, and so they cut it, and like the guy that made the documentary like still holds the rights and doesn't want to show anybody. So, but it was cool that his son reached out back and answered the question. Um, but okay, yeah, like this is Robert McGinnis' stuff. Let me find something that's not going to get me banned from YouTube. So like this, let me see. That's a painting by Robert McGinnis. He also has a very famous one of, I think her name is, what is her name? Audrey, is it Audrey? Let me look her name. Yeah, Audrey Hepburn. He's also really famous for this with this one, for this drawing. This is like, I think this might be one of the most famous, like, it might be like top, it might be top 400 most famous like illustrations. I think. I feel like this is everywhere. But yeah, his son answered the question and said that like they just weren't gonna release it again because the guy that owned it didn't like, or the guy that made the documentary put in some like weird music that Robert wasn't rocking with. So Robert didn't want the documentary to be out. That was so funny. To me, I guess that's pretty cool. He was like a principled guy, I suppose. He didn't want the documentary to be out with some trash music. But I was just so stoked to get an email back, honestly. Okay, let's not smudge this again. Maybe we should do this later. I think we can pull it off. Let's do it now. I've also got to figure out. I've got to figure out how I'm gonna do these speech bubbles. For now, I'm just kind of like leaving them indicated, and by avoiding them. But I'm gonna try to go back again and. I guess in post I got to do something. I don't know. I've never gotten this far. I've never gotten that far where where I can start putting in the speech bubbles. But I think last time I messed it up because last time I was really focused on like drawing them in traditionally, which I think was not a good idea. Yeah, it you know what, it is kind of lowbrow, honestly, and that's part of why I'm not really like. Oh, especially the Vargas. Yeah, Vargas is crazy. Vargas is crazy. Yeah, it is kind of lowbrow. That's why like I kind of wish he had focused more on like not so racy stuff because it makes it kind of hard to like. I feel like it makes it hard to really like tell people like, man, I love this kind of stuff. I love this art. It makes it almost like seem like you're a creep. But I think just the style and the fact that he was like doing that kind of stuff with what I suppose I'm pretty sure it was gouache or it might have been tempera. The fact that he was doing like that level of stuff with tempera, to me, it just is so inspiring. Yeah, whenever I see like a painting and then I see that the credits say like it was made with gouache or tempera, I'm always hyped. But he did have some less racy stuff. He did have some stuff that was like more like fairy tale or more like storybook kind of art, which I like that stuff too. But some of his best paintings are when people are barely wearing anything, which is fine, which is fine. Everyone has their tastes. Oh, it's a literal. Wait, is it a literal? Is it a literal name for an art movement? I think it is. I mean, you got to put your art to something. You got to put your art to something. And if it just ends up being that kind of stuff, then hey. I made a joke with my brother um the other day, and I was talking about how like if you've ever seen the Jehovah's Witnesses, um the artwork for the Jehovah Witnesses like heaven, whichever artist they hired absolutely did a crazy job. Like this guy, or this woman, whoever paints the Jehovah's Witnesses, um, whoever paints the Jehovah's Witnesses like pamphlets goes absolutely crazy. Like they kill it. They do a tremendous job. Um, but I was joking with my brother. It's like sometimes it's like I don't know if I would want to be associated. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. You got to have your art on something. So I suppose if they asked me to do it, maybe I would. I would try my best. And I don't even have anything in particular against Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm just saying, like it's just interesting. Like you got to have your artwork on something. But if you haven't seen those, look up Jehovah's Witnesses Heaven. Whoever was doing their art back in like the I don't know when it was, but they do a crazy job. Maybe I should show you guys. Let me look it up. These illustrations are crazy, like crazy in a good way. Let me show you guys a good one. I want to find a really good one to show you guys. Okay, like here's one. Here's one. Here's a here's a Jehovah's Witness illustration. And I think this is like their idea of paradise, which is kind of sick. It's pretty cool. But like whoever did this illustration, whoever did this illustration popped off. Like this is crazy. This is really nice. Yeah, I love that. And I'm not even Jehovah's Witness, but I can recognize game. Real recognize real. Realize, realize, realize. You guys know. All right, so we got to what do we got to do now? Well, let's just put in this jacket, I guess. But yeah, that is interesting. Like, there are some really good artists that are kind of like in these little niches. That it kind of seems like it would be hard for them to escape those niches. Like anybody who's doing like not safe for work art, or anybody who's doing like I don't know. I feel like there's specific niches that is like kind of hard. I feel like to. But I guess every niche is hard to get out of. It's probably too dark. I keep touching this paint with my hand. Maybe I should have done that first. But, I don't even think that's like a particularly a painter's thing. I think any kind of art, like once you lock yourself into one thing, sometimes it seems kind of hard to get out of it. Like not sure if you guys are familiar, but there was this artist who used to make like I don't even know the term. I guess you could say like trap music or like really like exactly what older adults think rap music is about. He used to make that kind of music, and then recently it seems like he's like a jazz trumpet player, which is like a huge switch. I know that's probably pretty hard to do, and to feel like you're accepted into that new thing. Yeah, we're using gouache. I'm still using the same 16 or whatever it is. I think I only use one, two, three, four, or is 14 colors or 13 colors, 12. I don't know, something like that. I got some new paints the other day, and I tried them out a little bit, but I haven't gotten. Oops. I haven't gotten fully used to them yet. Yeah, I'm so picky. Like sometimes, because I've been rocking with the same colors for the past like 4 years, it's gonna be tricky for me to move out of them or to move on to any other colors that aren't the same ones. Creative ambition. Do you have like a pretty standard color palette? Because I feel like I've seen you work with just about any color. I don't think there's anything I haven't seen you work with. I haven't seen all your paintings, but I feel like I've seen you paint with most colors. I don't think I've ever seen you avoid. Maybe green. I don't know if I've seen a lot of green. I don't know. But I asked because I've literally been using like the same 12 colors for the longest. And I just recently added a purple, and that's been like a revelation in my art. See, I have this thing where in my head, I like hold it up. I like hold a random standard of not using tertiary colors, even though I do all the time. Well, I guess quaternary. What's the word for four? Is there a word for four? Like there's primary, secondary, tertiary, and then is it quaternary? I don't think it's quaternary. Um, but for some reason I hold myself on this standard of like not using pinks or not using purple or not using like any of those colors. You know what I mean? Those like fourth level colors. But I'm kind of coming out of that a bit. I still don't think I'll ever use pink or peach, just because I feel like they're kind of like I don't know. To me, it feels like they're beginner colors, but maybe not. Bold colors usually okay. Yeah, I've come to recognize that around 4 or 5 for any given painting. Then there's some color cohesion with those same ones. Okay, I see what you mean. I think I see what you mean. That's crazy. 4 or 5 is pretty good. 4 or 5 is really. That's a really secure palette, or like a really concise palette. Honestly, I use probably all of my colors for every painting. Like if when I'm looking back at it, I probably use every single color for every painting. Sometimes I don't use the green. Sometimes I don't use this red specifically because it's kind of like really aggressive. And sometimes I don't use this blue. But like for the most part, and on any given one of my paintings, they probably have all these colors on them. Just because I really need all of them. Like that's why I have them. Because I really do need like I need them all for something different. I have thought about adding in like a neon color or something different. for the sake of it. I've also had in the back of my mind for like a couple years now the idea of trying to find a way to make metallic colors like actually useful. And one, I don't feel like buying metallic paints, and two, I can't seem to think of a way to make them useful. But I've had that thought in my head for a while, for like a video or just an experiment. Trying to find a way to make those metallic colors useful. Really any of those like specialty effect colors. Like glow in the dark paints or metallic paints or like neon paints. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's these paints, I think they're called like Supervision or like something like that, but they're like supposed to be like really highly granulating colors. So like it'll be a green, but then you'll put it down and there'll be like hints of purple in it or like hints of yellow in it or something. I've wanted to try those too for a little bit, but I'm so stingy, like I'm so like penny pinching. I don't even know if I would ever spend time and do that. But if someone else had them, that's what I like to do. I like to I haven't been to one in a while, but sometimes when I go to these art nights, oh wait, was that you, Creative Ambition, that was saying you were going to start going to a figure drawing class? Was that you or was that someone else? Good for background. Yeah, they could be. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Borders. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, like a frame. You could paint a frame around them. You could paint a frame around your sketch. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know if that was you, Creative Ambition, that was saying that you were going to start going to a figure drawing class. But sometimes when I go to my figure drawing nights, it's not really a class, but I like to try other people's art supplies because some people have some crazy stuff. Some people bring like acrylic markers. Some people bring like. There was one guy that was sculpting. That was pretty cool. His head is too big here. Okay, that was you. Okay, good. Good. Okay. It's really fun. It's really fun to do. I'm not sure if they're gonna be nude. I don't know how yours is set up. Um, but it's a fun experience to be around other artists. At the very least, like that's the most fun part. Like just being around other artists. Yeah, I'd like to go back to that drawing night. I haven't been there in a while. But it happens every week. The only thing is like for a little while there I had like a little friend group there. And then they stopped coming. And then it's like, I don't know, it's a kind of a long drive. And it's not like I would go there just to see my friends, but it's like that's a big part of it. Because there were specific people that I really like to talk to and hang out with for a little while. But who knows? I might go again. Um, every first the like they do it like once a week, but every first week of the month they have like a painting night where you paint for like 3 hours, but it's only one pose, as opposed to like a bunch of poses. And maybe I'll go to that one this month, but who knows? They also just do it so late at night. Like I wish they would do it earlier. And I also wish they would have some clothed people too. Like goodness, like I don't know, like the novelty, the novelty of painting a nude person kind of wears off pretty quickly. It might not be like that for everyone, but like it was like kind of interesting and like kind of like novel for the first time. But it's like, dude, like I don't draw naked people in my normal life, so it's like kind of unnecessary. But like honestly, I was thinking of maybe doing starting one myself. Like just finding a place to rent out and then find a model that wants to model and then just have them sit in. I feel like that would be like not too hard to do. It's just finding a place to do it at. But I feel like I could do a good job of running those events. I paid $10 for this, and this is such a good deal. I think it's how many? It's 200 milliliters of white paint. That's insane. I don't really want to touch this middle color because I feel like it's pretty good. But I want to fix the edges, so I'm gonna try and mix the same color. A local open studio, and then you can find a working model from there. Yeah, the only thing is like paying for it. Like, I don't know how much it would cost to rent something for like a night. I don't know. Maybe it'd be like I would imagine it'd be like at least $100. But if I charge everybody like $10, I mean, I know some. I was looking at some in different states, and they're charging like $20. I'm like, what in the world? $20 to like do this? Like, that's not really. I'm not sure if they know who their market is, which is this artist. There's a little ant. Let me try my really thin brush. Let's try this one. Oh my goodness, this ant. All right, let's see. This brush is almost like too thin, honestly. Goodness. Let's mix. We gotta mix some more color. Yeah, I feel like I feel like that'd be a good draw too, because it's like, especially if they're not nude, then like, I feel like more people would feel comfortable coming. If the model isn't nude and like, who needs a nude model? Like, I don't know. That's not. I don't feel like that's necessary for me to learn how to paint. Well, let's grab. I have a whole set of these. These were literally $6. Is that a good deal? I think that's such a good deal. I feel like I would have paid like 15 for this, honestly. 25 bucks? Goodness. 25 bucks. They must have really made their money back quick then. But the one I go to now, I pay $7. But like, I feel like you don't even really have to pay. Like, I do just out of principle, just for the sake of it. But it's like they don't really check, and also like at this point they like know me, and like I know the guy that runs it, and like I feel like it's not you don't really. I mean, you do have to pay, but I feel like some people don't, and get the same experience. But I pay out of principle. You know, you gotta uphold your moral standards. But Yeah, 25 bucks is crazy. For us, I don't want to make you feel bad, but for us, you could literally pay 20 bucks and get the whole month. You could pay 20 bucks and get for four sessions, get 4 sessions coming for 3 hours. Yeah, 25 bucks for one session is crazy. They better have paid that model good too then. Honestly, or like I guess donation base might be too much to ask for. I don't know if like because it does cost money to run something. But it's like at the very least, I feel like they could do it cheaper than they do. 25 bucks is kind of a lot. Especially because a lot of dude, what? That means they probably weren't paying them very good. That means they probably weren't paying the model very good. I personally think if I was gonna run it, right? If I was going to go ahead and run one of these things, what I would do is I would charge. Let me think. I would charge 10 bucks. I would charge $10. It's a nice flat number. I would charge 10 bucks for you to come in, spend 3 hours there. I think that's worth it. And then literally split the money half with me for organizing, so I could pay the rent and the lights for whatever the thing is, to whatever the building is, and then give the other half to the model. Or maybe you could even do like 70-30, and they make commission based on how many people come. So they also have an incentive to advertise. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be the way to do it instead of having people have to tip the model. Because then you get, I mean, I don't want to out anybody. People got to do what they got to do. But I feel like then you get some bad actors, some old guys that just want to, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I mean that's part of the game anyways, which is kind of weird. I feel like there's always you can always tell when people only come for the female models and then they're not there, and then they're not there when the male models are there. Like dog, if you're coming for one, you got to come for both. Dog, come on now. I think that's kind of interesting. It's kind of funny, but no, I don't live in Portland. I don't live in Oregon. I feel like I might give off that vibe though. I live very far from Portland, like probably like literally on the opposite side of the country. But I think I could do a good job running one. I think I could do it literally like I would just be scared that I would lose money like in the first couple months and end up like with no one coming to the events and then having to pay however much 400, 500 bucks for I don't know how much it would cost, but I feel like I could do it. And I feel like I plan to do it honestly later on in life. Probably not right now, but I think it'd be a nice resource. I really honestly the whole thought of me doing that came from the fact that like I kind of do want to have somewhere to go to do um that clothes model. I don't feel like there's a huge need to have a nude model every day or every week. Like maybe sometimes you would do that. I guess that could be interesting for people. But I feel like it should mostly be clothed models. Because if we're being fully real, how often do people even really paint nude figures like in their actual work? I feel like none of the people they go to my art nights, they go to the figure painting nights, do that. Like I've seen some of their work, and I feel like for the most part, they paint like normal stuff. But I also really like it because like when you go there, you can kind of get the experience of having like an art mentor, which I really like. There's always older artists who know more than you, and they're so willing to like help you out and give you advice. I love that so much. That's honestly something I've wanted like forever is to have like a mentor. I would love that. Like, I feel like I feel like in a lot of arts, like there's always stories in the past of like someone being somebody's mentor and like them learning through them. Like, I don't know, this might be a deep cut, but like there's a guitar player named Chet Atkins, and he's pretty well known for having a mentor or like a protege named Tommy Emmanuel, who's like another crazy good guitar player. And I feel like I don't know if that stuff happens so much anymore. I don't know if people have like proteges, but that might be I don't know if you guys know who those people are. I think it's tied to an old concept of skill building for figure drawing. Yeah, like having everybody be nude. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. It was interesting enough when I was younger, or when I was like in college and going to them. But now that I just want to like do my art and stuff, it's just I feel like it'd make it so much simpler if it was just normal clothes people. It'd be more helpful too, for me personally. This is something totally different, but I might have to do it tomorrow because I don't know if I feel like doing it tonight. But I want to do some animation practice. I want to practice animating something with like traditional painting. So I made these. I have these. I just traced these out. These are just like little traced things. But I have like an idle animation for a boxer. So he's just like standing. He'll just be like standing like that. I need to paint these sometime. Probably tomorrow, maybe if I have time. But yeah, I like to do these. I would hoping to get that done soon. Because I have this whole grand idea. I'm not gonna talk too much about it now because I want to actually do it. Have you guys ever heard? Have you ever heard that like theory that like if you talk about things before you do them, you'll never do them? I feel like I kind of believe that. You know what I saw the other day? I should have watched the video, but I didn't. I saw that Sarah Burns was talking about she has OCD. I really need to watch that video because um, I feel like a lot of things she says I might relate to in that video. I think a lot of artists. I think that might be like a certain kind of like a cohabitation. There might be a what's it called? Is it called a cohabitation? When like one trait is like is oftentimes comes with another one. I think it's called cohabitation. But I think OCD and artistic stuff might be cohabitations. That's also kind of why I made that video recently about like fake rules in art. Because I feel like a lot of times it might be tied to OCD or whatever, but I do that all the time. Like I make up these little fake rules for myself when I'm painting. Well, actually, I do it less when I'm painting than I do in real life, but I do it in painting as well. Oh, okay, yeah, comorbidity. That's such a dark word, but yeah, I think it is comorbid. I'm pretty sure you're right. Comorbidity. Yeah, I feel like those two things might be comorbidities. I always tell this story, but I remember the first time that I ever like. This is gonna sound too much, but like the first time I ever realized something was wrong was like I was at this video store. I was at this. They sold like old movies, and they sold like old DVDs, old VHSs, and stuff like that. And I just remember going through them and like rearranging the way they ordered their DVDs because it wasn't good enough for me for some reason. I just wasn't happy with, I don't know, the alphabetical order maybe wasn't correct or something. But I remember going through their DVDs and their movies and games or whatever and reordering them. And then some guy came over that worked there, like some guy that worked there. I was a kid too, mind you. Some guy came over there and said like, "Can you stop? Can you just like stop doing that?" And I think I was just so embarrassed. And I think that was the first time I ever realized like, why am I doing this? Why am I reorganizing their DVDs or their movies? But for some reason they didn't. The way that whatever way they had them organized didn't feel good enough for me. I was probably like 9 years old, maybe, or maybe like 7 years old, maybe 8. Yeah, I just remember him being like, "Why are you doing this? Like, can you stop? Like, can you stop organizing your DVDs? Like, you don't work here, kid. You're 9 years old. Why are you doing this?" But I think that might be the first. No, that wasn't the first time. I think I used to always have to touch stuff when I was a kid. I remember having to like when I was walking home having to touch specific things or like walk specific ways or move my feet in specific directions. And I've always known it doesn't make any sense, but I just haven't had a good solution to it. I still don't have a great solution to doing that kind of stuff. Like the worst part is knowing that it's so stupid and knowing that this makes no sense, but like still feeling compelled to do it. But nowadays, this is nowadays like the worst one, or well, I guess like the most prevalent one I have, which gets on my nerves sometimes, is the counting, dude. Like you guys might not notice it ever, but literally in my head, 24/7 pretty much, except for when I'm sleeping, I'm counting like always. I'm always counting. And I don't really know why. I don't really. I think that's a pretty recent one too. Like I think I started doing that like after high school. But yeah, the counting is like incessant. Like the counting's pretty bad, but that one's pretty harmless. Like that one doesn't have any like stakes attached to it. It's just the default state of mind is counting. And it's not even counting like in a straight line. It's always like in a I don't know. I remember okay, so whatever. You know what? I think we should get into it because I don't know if I'll ever talk about this again. Um But one of the things like for some reason I really like the number 11. Like the number 11 for some reason is like a really peaceful number for me. And so sometimes like so I got into this thing. I got into this habit of counting 11, but counting 11 in like the way of doing 5 and 6. I would do like 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So that's 6. And then I would do 1 2 3 4 5 and that's 5. And that makes 11. Like saying it out loud, it literally makes no sense. But like from now on, if you ever watch my videos, just know in the background, I'm literally counting in my head and I'm going 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. That's been going on since like high school. I don't even know what brought that on. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. I don't even want to say neurodivergence. I feel like I'm pretty regular everywhere in every other way, but or well, most other ways. But that's like I've had this stuff since I was, I don't know, a kid. But yeah, that the counting has been like a the counting has been a forever. Like I've been a like the amount of time it takes up is actually insane. No. No, I don't think so. Do you have what's the word? Synesthesia? Is that the word? Synesthesia? The only numbers that I think have colors are like 3 is yellow. I would say 1's probably red. But other than that, I don't have that. What's what's your what's like your mental breakdown of the number color system? I think like school subjects have colors. Yeah, I've been convinced that school subjects have colors just because of the fact that you have to have a folder for all of them. I always thought like math is blue. Um, Math is blue. English is like yellow. Any kind of like foreign language or any like special class is purple. Green is science. Months of the year, days of the week, all the letters have alphabets have numbers have colors. Honestly, that's kind of a skill. Well, that's just like the fact that you're able to make those associations. I have none. I literally have none. I don't have any associations like that. Yeah, I don't know. I just have good and bad numbers. That's what I have. I would love to hear your breakdown of the month of the year and their colors. But no, I mostly have what's it called? Like good and bad numbers. That's usually how my mind works. Like some numbers are good, some numbers are bad. But aside from that, I don't have any other like distinction. I'm sure people will probably love that. Yeah, I would love to make a video on that. Well, maybe not the whole OCD thing, but or the whatever little traits I have. I remember a long time ago I made a video talking about like a little bit of like because I was in a bit of an episode like whatever I don't want to say depressive, but like I was in one of those moods. And I remember a lot of people were saying that they related to that video, so that it felt good to be able to make a video in that mood and then have something that people could relate to. Because usually if I'm in a bad mood, I just like won't make a video, or I will, but I'll be like so fake. I'll just be so. I'll just like put on the biggest smile and I don't know, and just make a video like that. I don't know. When I'm in those moods, I'm not a very high functioning person. I don't know. I can get some stuff done, but like I don't know. I'm not really like a. I don't think I'm the kind of artist that like makes that can make art from their like pain or whatever. All right, his hat needs to be a different color because this black is not even visible. See, the other way, in the last one, I did, oops, in the last one, I made his hat black, but I had a little underline. And I feel like that is not cutting it. That doesn't look right. So I think we're gonna make his hat red. I think they said Albert Einstein had synesthesia, where he had like connections. I think that's what they said. But you know, you can never trust people say because people say all kinds of stuff about Albert Einstein. You know what I mean? People say all kinds of crazy stuff about Einstein, so I don't even know. All right, let's make his hat red. This might be too red. Let's make it darker. Is that even how a hat fits? I think I might need to redo this, or at least give him some hair or something. Pretty much everyone in this comic is bald, purely for the sake of like ease, purely for the sake of not having to paint hair on every frame. The only person that's not bald is the female character. Or no, actually, no, that's not true. Some of the fight announcers aren't bald, but they're only in there for like a frame or two. Any character who has like more than 3 paintings is bald. Pretty much, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, most of them are bald. Okay, let's put in his. Let's put in his shirt. You know what I also thought, and I haven't done this, but I feel like maybe I should do it sometime. If you guys have ever seen like Lizzie McGuire, have you guys ever seen that show? Where there's like a mini version of Lizzie McGuire, like a little cartoon version. I thought it'd be cool to have that in my videos, like have like a little cartoon version of me in my videos. I think that would be kind of cool. I don't know if you guys have seen Lizzie McGuire, but is that even the name of the show? Is it called Lizzie McGuire? You know how like Fairly Odd Parents, everyone thinks it's just called Timmy Turner or something. Yeah, I don't know if Lizzie McGuire. I think it is called just Lizzie McGuire. But yeah, I thought that would be a cool idea to have like during my voiceovers have like a little cartoon version of me in the corner. But that would take some time. And maybe I'll do it later, like because I am trying to learn how to animate. So maybe once I figure out animation with traditional paint, I might get down with that. Goodness. These pages all take so long. My goodness. These pages all take like 2 days to finish. Have to keep up with your full comic process now that I know you're... Oh yeah, dude, we're almost done. We're on page... It says page 15, but some of the pages are just blank. Like, so we're probably a good, like, 80% through the comic now. Yeah, because I have some pages that are just like just like this, like, and these ones I'll reuse from the last painting or from the last comic. These like just full splash color pages. So actually, let me see how many we have left. These are all the pages that we have left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 pages because there's one more over there that I need to finish. So theoretically, we could finish this in like a week. We could be finished painting by the end of this week, maybe. If I can put in 2 hours a day, I mean, then maybe we can finish it. It's really just about putting in that time. Like, oh my goodness. Sometimes you get so tired of doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I love painting, but I also love novelty. I love painting new stuff and different things. And I'm also not the kind of painter who loves to work on the same thing for multiple days. That's why I love doing the sketches outside, because I'm outside for an hour. I finish the painting pretty much. I'll do some touches. I'll do some finishing touches at home, but for the most part, the paintings in my videos are done in like an hour. And then when I edit the videos, like editing the videos is like a novel thing to do. So yeah, I love novelty, which is probably like a caveman trait. That's like a, I don't know, like a very, I was gonna say lowbrow, but I feel like that's the wrong use of the word. It's like a very, I don't know, like I feel like it's a caveman trait to like love novelty and new things and sparkly. But that is the truth. I like. We got a factor in what color is this building? Last time we did it yellow. I don't know if I like the yellow building. I kind of want to do it white and blue. Yeah, I kind of want to do it white and blue. Like a white roof and a blue speckled roof, or white building and a blue speckled roof, maybe. That's kind of what I want to do. Let's just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? Just kidding. Just kidding. That could be really bad. I hope so. It was good chatting with you and checking out your process. All right. Oh, is it? What time is it in Oregon? What time is it there? But all right, yeah, it was really good chatting with you. I'm glad I got to chat with you. I feel bad for not answering your comments, but I'll get to them. I'll get to them. I feel so bad because I saw I have a friend here named Tonya, and Tonya left me a really nice message on Instagram, and I took a peek at it, but I didn't fully like get the whole gist, and I didn't answer it, and I feel kind of bad, but yeah, sorry. Sometimes I'm really not good at that. I'm so like not antisocial, but I'm not against taking my time for myself. But yeah, it was really good chatting with you. Creative Ambition. Yeah, I think we're gonna do like this. I think we're gonna do a white building with like a pretty sparkling blue roof. Almost make it look like a globe roof. All right, I'll see you. I'll see you later. I might stream again, so maybe you'll drop by again for a different stream. I think it's so crazy. This is like an hour of painting, and we're like maybe just touching the halfway mark. Maybe a little more of this page. We're a little past the halfway mark, and we've been doing this for like an hour and a half today. That's what's been on stream. I've painted for even more than that today on this page. Just got to keep pushing through. Okay, I'm gonna try. Let's see. The idea. This is like a boxing state, or it's like a stadium that's hosting a boxing event. So I think it'd be cool. Let me look up what like a glass roof stadium would look like. Glass roof stadium. Let me see what that would look like. I don't see any good ones. Oh, here we go. That's a good one. Yeah, I want it to be something like this. I think when I was drawing this, I think this was like what the idea that I had. Like, something like that, like just a glass roof. So what we'll do is we'll put in a bunch of colors, and then we'll worry about doing the lines that make the roof. Oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. So mostly we're gonna have like red and blue, and even though I didn't love the execution of the last comic, one thing I really did like is that once the boxing scenes came in, once the comic switched from like normal outside to like the boxing scenes, everything got really like red, blue. Here we go. Red, blue, yellow. Red, blue, yellow, white. Everything got like really like this color palette. And I really like that. So I'm going to try to keep that the same in the actual painting, in the actual comic, the second comic, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let's see if we can just speckle in some bright colors. Just speckle these in, and then we'll add in some red at the end. So just like in my any other painting, one thing I don't want to do is have a color that only shows up in one place. So I feel like I'm gonna have to put in some more red, because we have the red that comes in the hat. We have some red that comes in the lines and the gloves, but I think we're gonna need some red that comes in here too to even things out. I think that's just a good general like mental rule to live by, or to just try to think about when you're painting. Is that if a color only shows up in one place, it doesn't really. Sometimes it doesn't look right if you only have paint a color in a single location or a single spot. That does come like sometimes that makes an issue though, because it's like there are sometimes where a color really does in real life only show up in one place. Like I notice I see it a lot in portraits where the lips will be a color, and then the lip color won't show up anywhere else on the face except for the lips. But then I always try to put the lip color like either somewhere else in the skin or like just put it somewhere else. Somewhere else. Even if it doesn't always like overpower color next to it. I try to put it in there. Alright, I think what I'll do is I'll try to finish these little specs and then I'll probably call it a day. I still don't feel super tired, so I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I just don't want to overstay your guys' interest. The music though does make it a lot easier to stay for a bit. It took me a long time to try to like to even think about trying to find music to stream with. So honestly, if it was my choice, I would have like cowboy music, like cowboy guitar music playing in the background. But I don't think everyone wants that, so I think lo-fi is pretty unoffensive. Oops, I think I messed up there. All right, I think I'm gonna call it there. Thank you guys for watching for this long. All that work, and we're still probably another 45 minutes from finishing this page. All right. Let me wait till these sirens. Goodness. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call the stream done right there. All right. Appreciate you guys. I'll try to stream again tomorrow, maybe if I'm feeling up to it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.